Recently we've talked about Twitch tips that can quickly and successfully grow your Twitch channel in just a matter of weeks. And believe me, I've had people come in my own chat room saying, David, thank you. Your tips are actually helping. So I just want to say back to you, thank you for your support. So let's keep this train going. Hello guys, how are you today? My name is David Franco from twitch.tv/DavidFranco. Yes, I'm currently watching the Black Ops 4 reveal behind me. Please don't be too distracted. But yeah, anyway, for today's video, I figured we would keep this Twitch tips thing going because it seems to be working well for me. It seems to be working well for you, so why not give you more tips? But today, I'm not going to really talk about tips. I'm going to talk about more so recommendations in regards to tech. Because, well, let's face it, without good tech, your Twitch streams aren't going to be as good as they could be. So let's talk about just that. I have a full list of tech to go over, so let's begin. Okay, so first of all, the most obvious one, let's get it out of the way. You're going to need a capable PC. Yes, a capable PC. I'm not saying like some kind of i3 or i5 chip or whatever. You're going to need an i7. You're going to need a decent GPU, pretty much a 1060 or above. Plenty of hard drive space, or SSD space in my case, I don't really like hard drives, to hold all those games. And yes, I realize you can stream on an i5 computer, but I don't recommend it. You should put most of your money into two things, your CPU and your GPU. Because let me tell you, when you're playing games like Rainbow Six Siege or PUBG or whatever, especially PUBG since it's still not that well optimized, but it's gotten better, and you're streaming at the same time, you're gonna need as much horsepower as possible. And let's face it, most of that horsepower comes from your CPU. So in my case, I have the 8th gen Intel i7, otherwise known as Coffee Lake, and I've been loving it. It has been a fantastic chip. It runs very hot, but I'm definitely getting my money's worth. The second thing you're gonna want, or actually second things, dual monitors. If you're not streaming on dual monitors, then you're probably driving yourself crazy. I see no reason why you should not have at least 2 displays on your setup like I do right behind me. Now, of course, I'm fortunate enough to buy myself 2 of these monitors. Let me read the model number here. Dell Gaming S2716DGR. Both of them right here, guys. I love these displays. They're 27 inches, 1 millisecond response time, 144 hertz refresh rates. Not 60 hertz, not 120, 144. And guys, let me tell you, going for a 144 hertz monitor is, no pun intended, or perhaps it is, it's a game changer. It is an absolute game changer. Not even just for gaming, just your desktop tasks in general. Guys, I'm telling you, the second you see your mouse cursor move in fluid motion, it'll just click. It's like, why haven't I been using at least a 120 hertz monitor to begin with? It is that big of a deal. So yes, I do have 2 of them, as I made very clear, and yes, they're not that cheap. Yeah, they're both on Amazon for currently, I think, between $400 and $500 each, but let me tell you, they are more than worth it. However, with that said, you don't have to do what I did. You don't need 2 of these same exact displays because, well, let's face it, the faster monitor, the higher spec monitor, should be reserved for gaming. I just happen to have 2 of the same one. So there's no reason why you can't get another Dell display, or at least of the same brand, so it matches. So for this video, I'm going to recommend the Dell M27BLK. That's another 27-inch Dell monitor. Again, it's not highly spec'd like these are, but at least it's the same size, similar design, so they'll at least look kind of the same because I'm self-proclaimed OCD. My monitors have to match as much as possible. So yeah, both of those displays will be linked right below. The Dell gaming one and the secondary Dell for, chat, OBS, real-time preview, and all that stuff, because believe me, you need 2 displays if you're going to be streaming regularly. It saves you that much time and frustration. The third thing you're going to need is a condenser microphone. Now, I'm no audiophile, I'm no microphone expert, but from what I can tell in my experience, a condenser microphone basically focuses on your voice and not the sounds around you. So the clicks on your keyboard, especially if you're using a keyboard like I am, they're not going to be that loud. The clicks on your mouse, they're not going to be that loud. And honestly, you need to go for a microphone just like the one I have. So for this video, I'm going to link right below the Audio-Technica AT2035 condenser microphone. It does use an XLR interface, so you'll probably need some kind of audio interface. And well, I'm going to recommend the Focusrite Scarlett Solo second generation. Second generation. It's really not that expensive. So yeah, like I said, that's also linked right below. You just plug in a microphone via the XLR connection, plug in via USB, download the software, the drivers, and all that stuff. Make sure it's up to date, and you are good to go. And well, now you can use that audio interface for any future microphones that you buy later down the line. Also, speaking of microphones, I should stress audio is exceptionally critical. It's extremely important in your overall Twitch presentation. Believe me, I've come across streams that look great, but the second they talk and their voice sounds like, for the lack of a better word, shit, I kind of back out of that stream because I cannot stand poor audio. Audio is everything. Well, alongside video. Think of it as like a 50-50 experience. 50 video, 50 audio. Or maybe even like 70 audio, 30 video. That's how important audio is. Do not skip on quality. And speaking of audio, headphones. You don't need super expensive headphones, but I do have two that I use, one more so than the other nowadays. My first was the Astro A40 gaming headset with the preamp installed, well, mix amp they call it. I mean, it did its job, but then eventually I got more serious about audio. I bought myself a little DAC, which I'm not even going to bother linking right below because it's not the best. Believe me, I owe myself a better DAC in the near future. But I will link the headphones I bought right below. The Sennheiser HD 650s. Beautiful headphones are actually right here. Very comfortable, they go nice and loud, and the soundstage is very large, which means you're going to get left channel way over here, right channel way over here, and they just sound fantastic for gaming, and of course, movies, music, and all that good stuff. A little expensive, but once again, you don't want to skimp on audio quality, so check them out, treat yourself. Next up, capture card. If you're like me, you don't restrict yourself to PC gaming, and I've never done that, and I never will do that in the future. I can promise you right now, because I'm not one of those PC master race douchebags who claim PC is the only way to go. Sorry, I know those are harsh words, but it's the truth, guys. Xbox One is great. PS4 is great. Nintendo Switch is great. Because, for instance, today I was playing Rabbids on the Switch, but it was going through my PC via my capture card, and that's where I'm going to recommend the Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro. Now, I am using the Pro version. It's PCI Express, plug and play. It's literally sitting inside of my PC right now on the motherboard. I'm not going to go into the tech aspect of it, but for me, this is better because it's not taking up space. It's not USB. It's plug and play, boom. Now, of course, there's software you have to install and drivers and all that stuff, but it's been a beautiful capture card. I love it. It just works. Now, for those who do not want to go the PCI Express route, I recommend going for another Elgato product. It's the Elgato Game Capture HD60S. It's just like my card, but it's not a card. It's a little capture device that connects via USB 3.0, and boom, same story. It's not as low latency as the capture card I'm using, but then again, you should never be gaming while looking at the capture window. The capture window is just there for OBS to capture, or if you're, well, capturing your gameplay for YouTube and uploading wherever else. So again, Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro and Elgato Game Capture HD60S. Both are linked right below. Just choose depending on whatever your setup calls for. And speaking of HDMI Switch, if you're going to have all these consoles connected like I do, you're going to want some kind of seamless way for the hardware to automatically recognize what you're trying to play. For instance, if I switch from my Nintendo Switch, no pun intended, to my Xbox One S, then the HDMI switch kicks in, and in theory, it should automatically switch the video and audio source from my Switch to my Xbox One S, and vice versa. This is really, really nice if you often find yourself playing games on a variety of platforms. It just works, it's beautiful, and of course it does include a wireless remote, the one I'm using. Now unfortunately the Switch I am using is no longer on Amazon, I'm not sure why, but I will link one right below that's perfect for you, and it's quite affordable. And also I do recommend going with one with 4 HDMI ports, that way you have enough room for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, plus a bonus device such as an SNES Classic, or camera, or anything you can plug in via HDMI at a moment's notice. Hey Maui. No, I'm recording a video. And finally, last but not least, I just had to kick Maui out of my room. He was messing with the lights. Bonus, Stream Deck. Now, I'm not saying you need a Stream Deck, but I will say it makes your streaming days and nights a lot easier. Basically, the Stream Deck is a piece of hardware that talks to software, and it allows you to easily switch scenes in OBS tweet out that you're live, post updates wherever on your social media networks. You can share commands and text lines in your chat room. It really is neat. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into like super detail in this video because there's a lot to talk about with the Stream Deck, but just go to Google, YouTube, whatever, and just search for Stream Deck. It just happens to be made by Elgato, so you gotta know it's quality for gaming. Okay guys, that's it. That is it for today. I'm not gonna go over everything that I own, like my webcam, my keyboard, my mouse pad, because honestly, that stuff depends on your budget and whatever. I just wanted to go over the things that I feel play a very important role in streaming. Okay, you know what? Perhaps I should have talked about my webcam. I'll also link it right below. It's a Logitech C922X, something like that. It's excellent. It looks great. Don't use it for audio though. Please, never ever use a webcam for audio. Yeah, it should strictly be video and nothing else. So guys, thank you so much. Follow me on Twitch right below. I appreciate it. I wish you luck with your own Twitch channel. And also, don't forget, I do have those Twitch videos linked right below to help you further grow your Twitch channel. Thank you so much. Your support means a lot. And I'll see you next time. Peace. I gotta go break Maui out of jail.